Hello and welcome to my Woolly PhD. My name's Liz Scarf and this is a weekly vlog about what I'm learning and making each week in my anthropology PhD, all about wool in Iceland. And yeah, if you want a brief overview, if you're new here to the project, of course things change. Things have changed a little bit, not much yet, I don't need to update it. But yeah, the introductory video has a bit of a summary. So this week I am still in beautiful Scotland, but everything is sorted with my residency permit. So I go back to Iceland in a couple of days, which is very exciting. You know, sad to leave here, but I want to be doing my field work, so that's good. I have been having a very lovely time here, particularly yesterday. Oh my goodness. I went to the Scottish Smallholders Festival. So smallholders is people who are doing small-scale farming. And I got to meet so many rare sheep breeds and some really lovely pigs and some very excellent wool-loving people. So I was a pig in the proverbial. I had a great day. And so it still has me thinking about breed diversity, which I talked about last week a little, or week before last, because I had a bit of an impromptu week off last week. So I've been doing a little bit of reading in this direction from an anthropological perspective. And I have one article to share. So it's called Local Breeds, Pastoralism and Breeders' Worldviews, Resistance to Globalisation in Southern France. This is by Bertaglia, Mormont and Trommetter. You know, it's an open access article, so you can find it and get it for free on Google Scholar. I'll put it in the show description. Now, the article considers the efforts of social actors, and in this context, they just basically mean everyday people, right? So not government or industry actors, to preserve rare breeds. And in this case, they're talking about goats, but preserving rare breeds as a way to counter globalisation. This is so cool. Anyway, so basically the premise is that historically livestock production has always been with local breeds. And of course there is, and we can see sort of patterns when people map this around crossbreeding and movement of breeds across time, particularly across Europe, but across the world. But they're generally quite slow processes. You know, a long time ago now we're sort of sending semen and animals all over the place. But yeah, so livestock production was traditionally with local breeds, and the caring and the entanglements were also localised. Obviously people did some things in common, but there was also differences in the way the sheep-human relationship operated based on the conditions and the breed of sheep and the breed of human and it's not breeds of human, it's like a whole messy, anyway, people, different cultural contexts and ways of being with place and land and domestication animals. Anyway, so it was always kind of, it was quite localised in many ways. There's global trends towards intensification and specialisation, this sort of abandonment of marginal areas, like so rural communities losing viability, right, in favour of kind of large-scale, highly mechanised, low manual labour requiring kind of farming types and also very homogenised genetics or like all one breed kind of thing, right? So we know this is a global trend in agriculture and therefore in the sort of entanglement of domesticated animals and human relationships. So regular people working to preserve local breeds as a way to maintain the viability of these kind of more marginal rural communities and to preserve pastoral traditions being framed as a way of pushing back or resisting globalisation, and with intentionality, right? Noticing, or the article, they interviewed a bunch of breeders of these rare goats, and to highlight that they actually have really strong worldviews and values that they are kind of expressing through their interest in or their activity of maintaining these rare breeds. You know, notions of wanting to live in harmony with nature, of land stewardship, of simplicity and low technology lives, something more spiritual. So they actually, you know, rare breeds interest is actually an expression of particular value sets. Not only, the article's really interesting, there's also someone there who just says, it just makes sense marketing-wise if you've got a rare breed cheese to sell, like you can market that really well. So not only, like, it's not this totally romanticized, oh man, it's so lovely. Anyway, I thought it was really interesting. I think the article really describes the smallholders movement in here in Scotland as well, somewhat, like the tiny little bit I experienced of it just chatting to people. People aren't just breeding rare breeds because they've got no other choice or because it's highly profitable. It's because they've got values and worldviews that prompt them to contribute to breed diversity. They see it as a vehicle for not just expressing values, but of social contribution. And it reminded me of this sheep farmer I know outside of Melbourne who has been growing award-winning Corriedale fleeces. And if anyone's a Melbourne spinner, you know who this is. The fleeces are just incredible. She announced several months ago that to better align with her own values about rare breeds and the role of stewarding rare breeds, she's transitioning to a Gotland flock. She's kind of moving on her Corriedales to somebody else and taking up Gotland breeding. Which is another sort of an example of the same thing, right? Like, she might not use terms like globalisation or whatever else, but the values are in opposition to the values or the way globalisation operates. Anyway, so I thought that was really interesting. And another little side tangent, is it a side tangent? I'm not sure. But another interesting thing for me that emerged in the interviews was beauty as a driving factor, right? So these breeders loved this particular breed of goat because it was beautiful to them. They said it was a beautiful goat. That's why they raised this goat as well. And I thought, wow, valuing beauty as a form of resistance to globalisation just sounds like the loveliest kind of resistance. I thought, it's going to make everyone happy, surely. And it reminds me of an article, I think I spoke about it several months ago. I'm pretty sure this was about transhumans. It's the shepherding of sheep, animals, goats across large areas of land, kind of ongoingly. But these shepherds interviewed said they weren't caring for the sheep to increase productivity. All of their care strategies were to enhance the beauty of the sheep. It was very touching, I thought. It was lovely. So it makes me think about beauty as an organising principle too, right? Like, if you decided that beauty was the most important thing to nurture in your world, what would you do differently? And I immediately think I would have less plastics, because I just started looking at some of the things on my table and just went, oh, they're ugly. They might be waterproof or something, but they're ugly. This is the thing I particularly thought of. It's this really great travel case thing, but you know what? It's it's ugly. Anyway, it's got me thinking about, and I'm not going to throw things out wholesale because it's kind of wasteful, but it did make me think about what would I do differently. Anyway, what would you do differently if you organised for beauty? If you follow me on Instagram, which is, I never remember this, Liz Making With, you will see one incredibly beautiful Border Leicester ram from the festival. I had never seen them before. If you know the breed, you'll know why I'm smiling. If you don't know the breed, go look them up. They have like these massive ears, like a rabbit, no, like a hare. They're gorgeous. Anyway, he won lots of prizes and hearts. I think he was really energetic and vital, but really sweet. He wasn't like a boisterous jerk. He was just really, you could just see he was like really alive and this great vitality in him, and he deserved all the prizes he got. Anyway, there's also a photo of a very beautiful but still terrifying Manx Lochtan. And if you don't, this is a primitive breed that has 4 horns. If you don't know them, they have like these 2 massive horns going straight up usually, and then these 2 massive horns curling around. And honestly, I'm sure that's what like lots of sort of imagery of devils is based on, is this sheep. It's scary. Anyway, but the one I took a photo of, turns out he really likes chin scratches. So I got to sort of scratch his chin for minutes and minutes. As long as I would stay there, he would stay there. And he just got like sleepy. Oh, so cute. Anyway, yeah, can't judge a book. You can't judge a sheep by its horns, maybe. There is also a picture of a darling pig of an unknown breed to me, but they had rare pig breeds there as well. It was a really good day. Anyway, yes, what have I been making? That's what I've been thinking about. Still thinking about rare breeds. I probably will until I get back into Iceland, where there's only one breed, and I'm not sure it's rare. Definitely in decline in terms of numbers in Iceland. There was Icelandic sheep at the Scottish thing. There's a whole Icelandic sheep breeders of Scotland kind of association, which was, I didn't know about that. I got a bag. Anyway, what have I been making? I finished the Benjamina sweater by Faye Kerr Knitting. It has not been blocked. It is a lumpy mess, but I wanted to wear it anyway to show you. And honestly, I can't work out which is the front and which is the back. There is short rows on the back, and I can see where I think the back is supposed to be when I look inside to see where the grey starts. But honestly, when I put it on that way, I'm like, I don't know, it's really riding up at the front neck. It shouldn't be. Anyway, so I'm not quite sure which is which yet. But yes, I should show you. This is the top, which you can see, and then it's got a little bit on the bottom and there. I'm very happy with it generally, but really looking forward to it post blocking and just kind of like lots of straightening. I didn't change the needle size for this colour work, and so we'll see if that was a fatal error or not. But it also, it still smells really sheepy. This is Hjonaband from Uppspuni. It's very lovely. I'm very happy with it. I've been told it will peel a lot initially, but after the first couple of cleanups, it settles down. So let's see. I'll report back on that. And this low pace, this one is from me, and this is my good sweater. The other one I've made, which I've shared on here before, is like my farm work sweater. And what's the other thing I was going to mention about? Oh, right. So yeah, the pattern actually has you using two colours for this, like a darker grey and a lighter grey. But I just went with one because that's what I wanted. And so I'm very happy with the colours. That's good too. So I have cast on my first pair of mittens, and only just cast them on, like I've done 8 rows or something, but on 2mm needles. So it's tiny, detailed, slow work. But yep, that's good there for my daughter. And I'm using Hjonaband from Uppspuni, same mill as the sweater. This Hjonaband is made from, the woman there, she describes them as the senior citizens sheep. It's from older sheep. And the wool is, I think it's kind of drapier and softer somehow. It can be hard to tell the difference between the two sometimes, but I think it's just got like a slightly softer touch to it. Anyway, I'm making something from this book. I'm going to make 4 pairs. This for my family. Icelandic Mittens by Gudrun, Hannele, Henttinen. And I am making my daughter the Edda mittens. So that's going to be fun and a more mobile knit, because I do now have my next low pacer planned. Oh, the light just got really not so great, didn't it? I don't know, filming this at night, it's a bad idea. Anyway, we'll press on. The next one I'm making, also for my daughter, is the Althea by Jennifer Steingass, and it's on Ravelry. It's very gorgeous. It's got, I think, garter stitch or some kind of seed stitch or something on the bottom band and ribbing, which I don't like, and it makes it a bit boxy. So I'm going to put ribbing on there. And I'm going to be making it in the Plutalopi, which I think I showed you last video, from the Thingborg Wool Collective in Iceland. It's so lovely. But it comes in plates, and I think some people put it into balls, but it's quite a fragile fibre because it's not really a yarn, it's not twisted. So I'm not going to ball it up. So I'll cast it on next week when I'm in Iceland, because I'm not going to try to travel with it cast on. Yeah. That's it for this week. I'm not sure whether I can do a video next week. I'm doing something very exciting next weekend, which I'll tell you about after I've done it, just in case I don't get to do it. But I'm just not sure how that's going to leave me for video time, so we will see. But it will be worth the wait if it's 2 weeks, because it'll be exciting. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching. And yes, if you had some thoughts about beauty, what would you do differently? Or any thoughts about the topic? Globalisation, other ways in which you push back that you think are delightful. Not that all of globalisation, it's like not just like bad. Should have said that earlier. I'm not like anti or pro globalisation. I guess I'm just like to be thoughtful or discerning or thinking about it. It's got pros and cons. Anyway, I'm just waffling. Thanks for watching. Bye.